Alright, I think we're good. At least I'm gonna say we're good and hit the play button regardless. Making sure everything else is alright on my end. Music is a little loud, but at least on my end. I don't know why. OBS audio levels are good. Alright, because that was an issue the other day, because, you know, Arma 3 updates be Arma 3 updates. Let me go ahead and put the prediction up. Alright. One second. Hey, Antline, how you doing? Just trying to get this all sorted here. And we'll set that for 15 minutes. Alright, cool. So, here is the map here. We've got supply and red zone over here. I believe OPFOR, these two markers. Blue 4 is going to be this force. I'm going to tab out, give you guys a breakdown of what is going on with what today. So, this is part of a recurring campaign that has been running in OFCRA for the past few months. It is basically Ethiopians versus Somalians in a resource war. Blue 4 Ethiopian, OPFOR are Somalian. They're using, I want to say, early Cold War era gear, because that's all they can really afford. So we see occasionally some T-34s and 55s, usually AKs on both sides. It's whatever they can get their hands on. But it looks like they're also dating this back to 1978, so definitely early Cold War stuff. So, with everything here, it looks like they also removed some of the details of the mission to make it a bit easier. But it's pretty much a convoy here. So, Blue 4 have to destroy an OPFOR convoy, OPFOR have to keep it alive, and then there's a survival bonus and a kill enemy commander bonus, each worth a good chunk of points. It appears to be a 5-vehicle convoy, each vehicle worth a point, and this is cashed in at the 45-minute mark. Killing the enemy commander is also worth a single point, and then a survival bonus is worth 5 points, which is pretty much the entirety of the convoy, aka you win points if you have more than 8 people alive at the end of the game. So if one side gets utterly squad wiped, then, you know, you're SOL at that point. And then there is an HQ also worth 5 points, to help balance that all out. I would assume this HQ is up here. Alright, so here's the convoy turn-in zone. So the fighting's basically going to be around the town of Swaga here. Blue 4 have a spawn right here, and OPFOR, I'm assuming the convoy is right here. So it's going to be basically a race of a chase for this convoy with some pretty lackluster roads. But I could be wrong. Nonetheless, we'll see how all this goes. It's a simple convoy assault. Blue 4 is on the offense here. OPFOR going to be a bit on the defense for actually the entirety of the scenario, from escorting the convoy in, or to defending the final objectives in this area. But OPFOR, pretty simple plan. Send a good chunk of your forces out to assist with the convoy coming in. Hold this position, but then you also have to keep a skeletal force on the HQ so you can then migrate forces from the supply zone to the purple zone. I'm going to be honest, though, based off of these objectives, it's going to be a 45-minute rush to get the vehicles in. And then after that, it's just around the HQ. So if Blue 4 is dragging their feet, they're already going to lose. And then OPFOR can just make defensive and favorable positions. But I guess there's a lot of pitfalls here that OPFOR can fall in. Between sending enough forces to go and secure the convoy and keeping enough forces on defense, because Blue 4 can either attack the convoy or just hold the zone to prevent OPFOR from cashing the vehicles in. Now, Op4 only get points for the convoy if the vehicles end up in this end zone, and Blue 4 I think only gets points if they blow up the vehicles themselves. So it's quite possible for that first group that no points will be awarded to either sides, but if that's the case, Blue 4 can just move to the HQ position and hold it. But let's have a look at our assets here. So Blue 4, we've got an MI8. Their weapons appear to be AK-74 based. They also have AS Vals and whatnot. Good God. Thought this was 1978, but I digress. A lot of suppressed weapons here too, but again, the sound of the rotor blades is probably going to give them away. Meanwhile, Blue 4's main attack groups have some BTR 60s. Actually, these might be 70s. And then we've also got some trucks with 50 cal mounts. That is quite interesting. We have an artillery piece. This is probably going to be an anti-tank version of the D30 battery, though. We got a car with a 50 cal on it. We got a T... That actually might be... That is, I think, a T-72, just with no armor on it. Second T-72 as well. Wow. All right, so Blue 4 going to have a lot of offensive capability here. Op4, however, for their convoy, we have the supply vehicles in question here. We've got some MTLBs, which right off the bat is pretty lackluster because they only have the 7.62 coax turret without any of that 14.5 on the KPTV to fight back. We also see some BTRs here with that KPTV capability, though, so we might see the infantry just not use those and instead go for those.
Send in
we have a field gun in play as well, and then a single
Twitch
T-55.
denied my attempt to redo my sub 6 times in a row, but I am stuck here for another 6 months. Now I got it working.
Righto, Spiegel, thanks for the 8-month resub, my man. Sorry to hear that, but I'm glad to hear it's working now. Thank you for all your support. Hope you keep enjoying watching and playing the ops, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. I believe Flip for Flap would be Op4's commander based off of that look. Blue 4's commander is going to be NASA. All right, again, their deaths are worth a point on each side, which is a little inconsequential, but I think that's the point. They want to have the commanders possibly commit more to the fighting. But regardless, Op4's other group at spawn is negligible. Okay. So both sides are about a platoon strength, but with all the vehicle assets, we'll probably see, I want to say, 3 squads worth of guys, and then the rest in vehicle assets. Op4 definitely going to crew their tank. We'll see if they bring their AT gun, though I doubt it. But bringing that might help them at the end goal for defense, but it's all about bringing that convoy over. I mean, based off of the numbers alone here, and Blue 4 having the potential to field 2 tanks and an AT gun, I'm leaning more towards Blue 4 on this ordeal. And then they have a vehicle that can land and set up a defensive position. Or these guys can just already bum rush and move up to the defensive position. But I don't think they know that Op4 doesn't have any spawns up there, so they might try something surgical. But there's a lot of ways Blue 4 can get this AO done. But looking at everything, so NASA, again, the commander, Zixmi is going to be the 2IC. Looks like they've got Mark 14s in play here. Zixmi also appears to have a bit of AT there. We've got Newton, Renly, Yun, Hayes, Puma, Ninja, Toxic, Rodrigue, and Mackenzie in one squad. Delta, we got Ivno, Charlotte, and Swola. For Foxtrot, we have the 7th, Spirit, Monix, Badcap, Anthrods, Monix. Wait. Sorry, Monix and Monix's brother Monix, I see. And Kashmir, Rigel, alone in India. Gandalf, he might be the pilot, that's why. Gandalf, Animek, Micus, Kifa, or Kafi, Snari, Epic, Settler, and Speed, all together in Soviet 1. Sam and Lolo taking 1 tank group in Kilo. We got Ligma with Olaf, Green Thumb, and Seismo. And Soviet 2 has PHK Kazag, Wombat Shay, Cuboid, Ash, and Cuboid, excuse me, and Fury Gamer. And then Parthius is alone as an M60 gunner in that team, probably to merge with someone else. Flip for Flap commanding Op4. 1 squad has Mr. White, Jonathan, Rick Hunter, Marichaldo, Emil, Murdy, Baku, Zartek, and Arthi. Got another group with Wujo, Nox, Wiki Quartz, Snowbos, and Ferran. Got 1 group with Drago, Monkey Enjoyer, HDM, Skipu, Quebec, and Depso. Another group with Pogo, Cheeseburger, Ezio, Barros, Kermit, Benaris, and Mortal. And then Roland and Callie are going to be the T-55 crew. And then Andler, Macarons. I'm going to call him PE and Manolo all in a group there as well. Could the BTRs kill a tank? Absolutely not. Maybe the KPTV could shoot out the engine, but I've never seen it happen before. Yeah, I would assume that too, Cat. But anyway, OPFOR group immediately leaving down this convoy route. Wait, it's artillery? Oh. Oh, that's going to be a sheer miss, though. Oh my, so they have artillery on both sides. I thought those would be static guns, but are they gonna just start shelling each other's spawns outright? That's amazing, but also horrible. One round comes in right on top of Fox's position, but it's a Willie Pete. Oh, if that was HE, that would have been the quickest squad wipe you would have ever seen. Willie Pete, I don't think is going to do any damage to anyone in the vehicles, though, because of how it's scripted. But my God, could you imagine that? If that was loaded with HE instead, that would have nailed some of the vehicles leaving out of the position. Oh my God. All right, helicopter's already flying out. We'll see if it tries to choose some sort of ambush position. Ironically, though, the objective vehicles are being kept in the AO for now. And now the artillery might be on the move. I can't tell if they loaded it in a vehicle or whatnot, but I don't see it back in the base. There's no Papega or Scandi. You're going to have to wait for Friday night fights to see them. That is tomorrow. Also on the docket later today, we got OFCRA and a bit of a fun meme mission at 7 o'clock. And then 9 o'clock, I'll be doing game night with Dante, starting something new there. We'll see how things go. What mod set are we using? One from OFCRA, the Orglan's War, whatever they've titled this as. They shift their mod set mission to mission, campaign to campaign. That's all available on their Discord. All right, so with that, we got one tank staying in reserve. The rest of these forces going out. We got a BTR. We've got a transport truck with a 50 cal. One guy moving on foot. Okay. We got the other tank already barreling ahead, and then we've got another transport truck going out there. So Blue 4 are opting to not use most of their BTRs in favor of the transport trucks for speed instead. And then you got OPFOR setting up defensive positions back here to cover the rear of their convoy, I'd assume. That's a little weird. We've got one Blue 4 group deployed up here. This is one half of the group on the MI8, and I guess the other one is going to get closer and possibly start assaulting that position. But again, the real interesting factor here is the convoy itself hasn't how do I word this? The convoy's left, but the actual objective vehicles have not. They're staying back at spawn. And I'm wondering if Blue 4 is actually going to send anything over to check what is over at this spawn point. Because if they don't, I'd assume OPFOR is going to try to recon the route, lock it down, and then send the group of vehicles on the route, maybe following this MSR on the side, have it go all the way to the north and then flank around like that. That's a lot of distance to cover, which can play into why OPFOR is setting up defensive positions along certain areas of this convoy route. But that's giving Blue 4 a lot of time to literally just go to the final area and hunker down after they realize what's going on. But you have Blue 4 setting up defensive positions all along here. And we might see them start making a defensive line, and this is the southern part of it, and it goes north just to try to intercept anything that comes within that convoy. But with OFCRA matches, we have 90 minutes with an 8-minute safe start timer. Bets are still coming in. I could still say it's going either way. If those shells were HE, though, and they already wiped out an entire squad of Blue 4, that would have really favored it to OPFOR in the early game. But how I like to divide the rounds, 3 segments of 30 minutes. You got your first 30 minutes, which is your early game, usually committed for both sides to just deploy their forces and position them where they want to. Your mid-game, which you, if you don't see action in early game, you're definitely going to see it mid-game. And then your late game, your last 30 minutes are usually the cleanup phase. Some missions don't even make it to end game, though, or late game, excuse me, because at that point, usually a winner can be seen by mid-game. Really surprised Blue 4 is going to push anything to spawn, but at the same time, we see 3 vehicles leaving. So that is showing me that OFCRA only want to get the point majority of the 3 points and possibly leave 2 Vics for Blue 4 to destroy later on. Not a bad call, knowing they might not have the manpower to bring all 5, and having a profile of 3 Vics is going to be easier than 5. But definitely riskier, though, because if Blue 4 intercepts even one of these vehicles, that could mean that Blue 4 gains the point advantage in the 5 points worth of the convoy, especially if Blue 4 goes and checks the spawn. So right off the bat, this shows me that OFCRA's plan here is to get these 3 vehicles in and then go for the HQ and camp it, and that's going to be it. Blue 4, meanwhile, really only need to camp the 2 objectives to get 5 points from the HQ, and then just deny OFCRA the ability to get those vehicles in at all. But even if they do, all Blue 4 needs to do is hold the HQ to win. Now here's the deal. Neither side knows what the other side is planning. So Blue 4 is probably thinking OFCRA is going to be trying to go for all 5 of those vehicles to make the moot point of if Blue 4 just turtles the sector for the end, they're not going to win. They're just going to evenly trade. So they need to find, seek and destroy these vehicles here. And I'm willing to bet as these vehicles go up, we'll see these positions break down and follow as an escort. Because the rest of these forces are clearly just pathfinding forward, but that's giving the convoy a lot of room to potentially go around and pick a different route than Blue 4 can provide. And again, we're seeing a massive blind spot being formed on the northern side because Blue 4 hasn't committed anything to the far north yet. And I think based off of the speed of these vehicles, we might see OFCRA get around and play into their strategy of then holding that position to the 45-minute marker to cash in those 3 points and then holding the HQ towards the end. The question's going to be, are these supply vehicles quicker than this tank BTR and anything else that might come in? And I think the answer is going to be yes. Where are you going? I think he's turning around now that he's realized he got stuck there, but they're supposed to be going north because if they go south, they're going to end up in Blue 4 regions here. A little bit of a mishap with some of the OFCRA players here. That's only going to feed Blue 4, not feed, but give them more time to deploy on the northern side. So we're probably going to see our first clash in this area as forces from both try to establish a defensive line, with OFCRA trying to break through to get to the cash-in position and Blue 4 trying to hold it to snipe any vehicles that come in. But I'm a little confused with why we have these OFCRA Vics going blindly over here without any sort of escort to cover them. Because what's the point of having these vehicles go up this way and not over this way if they weren't just pathfinding for these vehicles to go through? It makes absolutely no sense. Because I would then assume these guys were sweeping the roads for any helicopter groups that were deployed. So if these guys go a completely different route, then that completely nullifies the point of the sweep, in which case these guys shouldn't have gone and taken the left route, because that would take them longer to set up their defensive line. They should have taken the right one. So it's confusing. It's really confusing why they're choosing that, but oh well. So one Vic has been left behind. Maybe because he's realizing that these guys are being silly, and one of them just brake-checked the other. And now are they turning around? Yes, they are. Neither side have ATGMs. They only have some tanks and some KPVTs on top of vehicles. They do both have artillery pieces, though, which I think is going to make this AO all that more difficult since both sides have a D30 battery, which is why I don't think Blue 4 is immediately charging in to fortify these zones, because they know they can get hit with arty. And then OFCRA also isn't going to do that, because if they know they show a defensive position, then Blue 4 can just hit it with arty. I'm also really surprised, though, that this Blue 4 helicopter is staying on the defense, specifically over the positions that Blue 4 is going on. I would have committed it to just start scanning the roads for any vehicle activity, and then I would have guided Blue 4 vehicles to go and assault them. So I think these Vics are desperately lost at this point, Because you got this guy out here, you got these two slowly driving. And that's the really funny part, is it's the objective vehicles. Unguided AT, I think both sides, Blue 4 have some sort of Moz-based weapon, and Op 4 have RPG-based weaponry. Yeah, but if they continued along that route, funny enough, I don't think there would have been any Blue 4 resistance on them. Because this is all relatively flat terrain. I don't see Blue 4 taking these hills for Overwatch. And it looks like the MI8 is going to pick up those groups on the south, and I think everything's now recommitting north because they're thinking Op 4 is going around because they would have run into contact by now. So funny enough, even if these guys went the wrong way, Blue 4 might redeploy their forces and make a new gap that these guys might blindly follow. But I think because they're lost, they're reforming the convoy, and then they're going to start following the route around. I don't know, it's a weird one. You got Sierra back here, I guess, as a late join, taking an MTLB. This is a weird one. Hey, Xana. I'm alright, man. How are you? They're just role-playing AI pathfinding in weird terrain. You know, as a Zeus. And they're still gonna go that way. So this is either some crazy 4D chess game. Because again, unless someone knows, why would you send a route of forces around this way only to send the other force this way, right? Like, I don't see a defending argument. Well, maybe it's because they wanted to keep their main convoy away from an MI8 that could spot them. But it's like, why are you sending these guys in territory unprotected in this? Whatever. These guys have broken down their positions. Maybe they'll speed up to join them. Here's what's going to get me. Are these guys now going to go left or right? Because they should be going left. Or, excuse me, right to cover that convoy. Because going left is absolutely... They've already scanned all this terrain to know there's no bad guys. So shouldn't you want to escort your 3-vehicle convoy with something? Because it looks like they're going to go left. And the tank's going to go left. So why? Why? And once again, the central vehicle is braking, they're slowing down. I don't get it. So either there is a massive miscommunication with the convoy group, or there's some sort of issue with players not being able to read their maps, which I would wholeheartedly believe. Or Flip for Flap is playing the biggest game of 4D chess I've ever seen, because it's somehow working, even though Op 4 has no reconnaissance capability compared to Blue 4 that has the MI8. And now they've dismounted on the road in plain view of some overwatching hills that, again, if Blue 4 had forces on, would be able to see this. So it's like, what? What's the plan? Because Op 4 doing the smart strategy of just hugging the northern side. Here, hold up. They were talking.
Bro,
We have a lot of wheels. We can change them.
They broke all the wheels somehow. And they broke the back wheel. What?
bro.
Okay, it's only the front one.
La estoy quitando yo, tío.
Ah, vale.
What did you do? What?
Okay, I'm going to get another wheel.
And then these guys are convoying around the back line. These guys are definitely... I think they're on this road.
I know how can I
And these guys are coming up thinking they're going to run into these guys, but they're not. And it's just going to create a source of contention.
Like...
Blue 4's heading into the sector now. They're going to camp it at the end. They got a tank overwatching. Op 4's been hugging the northern side.
We weren't getting out of the place. Man.
Okay, you need to put that wheel on the back left.
Well, at least we had the wheels.
Yeah, we don't have the wheel. One wheel.
I'm not really used to having so many.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck you yeah.
Like there's a lot.
Yeah, I mean what you can try actually now. Tell me, what do you want to do now?
We're heading to the
Ah yeah, okay.
opposition. We haven't.
Oh, it's perfect, bro.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, nice. I'm going to check on my map.
What?
Vale, ¿cómo vais por aquí?
Te falta una rueda.
Nice. Es que no me esperaba que tuviera esto tantas ruedas.
Es que Javi, tío, tú me has dicho que le dé al shift y te has adelantado y he dicho, hostia, te has adelantado mi superior. Y entonces he tenido que frenar.
Pero no te pares.
Ya lo sé, qué locura.
Why does that man have such a
Estamos a
mustache?
punto de encontrarnos con uno de los tanques de
¿Malo?
de JB, de TJB.
Creo que ya
¿Es
está.
malo?
No, buenísimo, porque son aliados. Juanma, conduces. Voy delante yo.
Sí, sí, lo sé.
Yeah, MI8's not gonna fly around and try to figure out where OPFOR is coming from. OPFOR are gonna have no choice but to push in and cause a source of contention here, but now that Blue 4 is directly on the point, these guys can't just blindly drive into the objective. Alright. Oh my god. Does anyone have any AAA capability? RPG? So OFCRA is a collection of multiple different communities. We've got Polish, Czech, Spanish, French, British, usually European focused. So are they just gonna land in on the northern side, or are they just driving around trying to figure out where the hostiles are? Because I think Blue 4 is gonna realize this position's completely empty and just take it. These guys are gonna follow the MSR and end up in friendly lines. I was hoping there was something armed that would start shooting at him, because this vehicle was filled with dudes. So even a few stray shots would have potentially killed a few players, but no dice there. So we got Demovar coming up with the M2 Mutt Jeep. We got one of the Monax twins running up, and then we got Rizbo and LA here. I'm wondering if they're going to sneak the other two trucks in for the hell of it. Otherwise, they could bring a BTR, but this is wild, man. So you got one tank on the hilltop over here. It's now looking at northern positions because they've identified those groups. Second tank is pulling up near it. It's going to be on Overwatch on the left side. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what OPFOR can do here to get into the AO at this point. Blue 4's got two overwatching tanks. The sides have practically flip-flopped. Now Blue 4's playing the defensive mission, and OPFOR is the one attacking. I wouldn't call GG just yet, but unless Blue 4 horribly deploys its troops, I don't know what else could happen here. We do have a lot of fortifications around this position here. You can see them all over the place. There's at least 24 of these little positions right here, so that's going to leave room for infantry to run in. But beyond that, OPFOR is now going to have an open firefight here, and Blue 4 have got all these apartment buildings to work with to snipe. Blue 4 can also find some other hilltops to put their tanks on, but it looks like they're just committing them to be internal security instead, which I think is a bit of a weakness. One of them should have stayed up on that far hill. I get they don't want to overextend over there, but they could have the MI8 either overwatch it or put a BTR up there and just have two people watch its left flank. I don't know. Beyond that, we're about 15 minutes into the round. MI8, has it parked or is it hovering? It's parked. Blue 4 just getting to the sectors here. These Vics are following the road. I'm gonna laugh my ass off if they're the first Vics in and they just get sniped by something. Or they drive in. This would be a classic OFCRA moment where they drive in, dismount, Blue 4 looks at them and goes, what the hell, and then just blows them away. I do agree, the best way to deal with one of these apartment buildings is to satchel it and just let it collapse. Not gonna lie, in some cases you kind of need that. Here, I'm gonna spectate Flip for Flap here, because I want to hear if he gives any orders in regards to this deployment. How many players are playing? Good question. I would assume around 80 to 90 for today. If I were to quickly tab out and check, we're at about 84. So lower numbers than what I'm seeing OFCRA used to, but it's still going to be a platoon on platoon sort of situation with vehicle support. So Blue 4 is going to be using their MI8 for reconnaissance here. Big open windows, you can pretty much see most of the map at this point. We'll see him come around. Op 4, this is one life. Yep. I want to say 99% of the things we cover for Arma 3 PvP are one life.
Okej. Wszyscy są.
Każdy kurwa ma.
Wszyscy są, bo jesteśmy Polakami i
Ej,
potwierdzili
weźmy
wszystkie
co
RPG
robię,
zdalne.
nie? Ty, tam jest rakieta w środku,
Poka.
ale jojo. Takie obby, nie?
Jo!
Jo! O, zajebiste.
Obliczony sorek.
Ej, a w ogóle jak się celuje przez tego RPG?
Chuj
Bo
wie.
tam jest...
Na oko.
RPGa?
No, czekaj.
Jak masz tam,
nie chodzi
to
mi
I don't know.
Pokaż mi swojego RPG, pokaż mi
I na co my czekamy?
A
Nie,
ten ma
jest
jakąś dziwną
złamane.
rozdziałkę.
At least
Masz
they're
tam tego,
having
masz to
fun.
podpisane.
Znaczy, no
100,
wiem, ale w
200,
sensie, bo
kratkę.
może jak page'upem dasz albo
Nie możesz, nie możesz powiedzieć
Nie,
podawać.
nie da się, to wszystko
dobra,
są
jest
rozdziałkę.
Ale tak się jak nie wiem, zobaczył jak się przesadza. Daj na sekundę.
Chyba, że on ma rozdziałkę do 300 metrów.
Tak, daj na sekundę.
Tak. Ale na 500 byś trafił, mi się wydaje.
To wezmę twojego na chwilę.
Bo 500 to jest, jak sobie
No
zobaczysz,
to
nie?
już nie oddam.
500 to jest chyba ten na samym dole. Na samym dole to nie to było
I
około
heard
500,
some
mi się wydaje.
gunfire
Nie,
around
300?
here,
Po lewej?
but
Jest napisane?
alright,
Nie,
convoy's now
nie,
coming
chodzi
in.
Jakby, na samym dole tak,
So
to jest
all
jeszcze
these
tam,
forces
tam
on the
jest,
southern
jakby,
line.
Jak kończy się to otwarte pole,
Widzę, widzę.
to tam było 500 mniej więcej. A pomiędzy tym a 300 to było 400, nie? Tak mi się wydaje.
To nie jest co pół. To
3,5.
to nie jest 4 na dole?
Łap
Nie,
rakietkę.
3,5. Powinno być 3,5 na dole, jestem pewien. Już łapię.
A bo to jest
Dawaj.
2,5, tak? Wcześniej. A
3,5.
tak, to jest 3,5, no racja, masz rację.
To jest to pół i
To jest
jest taki
3,5,
samo
4, tak, to 4.
You know, Tic Tac, that's a great question. I have no idea at this point.
Dawaj tego, dawaj RPG.
Tam leci.
There's the MI8.
Dawaj RPG.
Nie, już są pomogę. Jestem zwykły lider.
To jest mojego anti-aira.
No i zrób tą radę.
I'm waiting for them to form up some sort of AT firing line and shoot at the helicopter and see if something actually manages to hit it. I mean, yeah, definitely use the BTR's KPTV to shoot it out would be better, but... Yeah, so he sees the convoy vehicles down there.
Non.
Plus à droite.
Gunner struggling to find the helicopter.
Jonathan en hauteur sur 260.
Those shots are a little short. He's getting really close, though. Now they're over. But he's timing them perfectly. It's going to a bit of a dive. Now it's going to pull away, but at this point, Blue 4 knows they're going to be coming from this northern side. 8 minutes till the end of early game. Where are the tanks being positioned? We got one going to the far right flank. Where is the other one? It's in the center of town down here, ready to basically lock down this MSR. Not a bad spot for it. We're watching from right here. No blue on blue or red on red yet. Some funny people getting lost sort of memery here, but beyond that, nothing much. So OFCRA, what they could also try to do is go in through a blind spot, get in the buildings over here and come in. They could potentially recon that out by using the roaming hills around this area. Or get something up here to do some minor reconnaissance. To see that most of the units are deployed away from this far corner, then they could try a bum rush, but that's tough to do when your enemy has 2 tanks. I'll do a quick breakdown of how the mission works again. OFCRA has 5 logistics vehicles they're trying to get into here. If they are brought into this zone by the 45-minute marker, which is 45 plus 8 for that timer, they get a point per logistics truck. If Blue 4 destroys any of the logistics trucks before the 45-minute marker, they get a point per truck. And then this HQ is worth another 5 points. And then if you kill the enemy side commander, you gain a point. And if you have at least 8 people alive on your side, you gain an additional 5 points. Just going to this guy. He's halfway... Actually, he's more than halfway through making it to friendly forces. You got a BTR out here, and then you still have another guy out there, so... I don't know, man. I appreciate OFCRA doing rear security with their stuff, but... I don't see another point here. And then you got these 3 Vics out here. And the tank's now starting to engage. I think there's too much trees in the way for them to see the Logivics there, but that one tank round coming in has made these guys start running around. Neither side has ATGM or guided missile capabilities, only rocket launchers on both sides. Both single shot and reloadable medium anti-tank.
Gdzie jest miasto, stary?
Ja pierdolę.
Nie no, powiem ci, ty masz.
Zaawansowane taktyki.
Bez imersji.
Drago żyje, Drago żyje, Drago żyje.
Both sides did have a D30 battery, but it looks like they've both been scrapped. OPFOR did some opening shots with Willie Pete on Blue 4. Right on target, believe it or not, but it didn't really do any damage. Now you got the helicopter flying super high here. And Rigel's just watching him. You just saw a tank run go by.
They're heading.
I think he's at too steep of an angle for any KPTV to look up and engage him, and that's too far for any AT to actually come up and hit him. Oh, a little bit of a lag spike there. Reducing my render distance slightly. Neither side have mortar capabilities, otherwise you'd probably see them being deployed at this point. So I'm really curious what they're going to do here. It looks like OPFOR are trying to line up all their forces to come over here where they have this hilltop, maybe not realizing that the MI8's going to be spotting. For Blue 4, you got the other tank coming up, though. Might try to now take these hills and use them against Blue 4. I stand corrected.
Command to all group, give me some precise contact. Artillery is ready to fire.
Oh no. Oh no. Well, OPFOR brought their D30. And Blue 4 left their artillery. As Napoleon Bonaparte would say, God fights on the side with the more powerful artillery. And then we've got a truck out here, hold on. That's just driving completely away from the AOs. Ah, what a solid tactical decision. Anyway, based on his angle... Oh no, he was right on target, never mind. He fires a test round, okay.
Copy that. Sierra, Oscar, and Tango, are you ready to move at my mark?
He might charge the forces in as he shells Blue 4. This should be
Oscar,
interesting.
Sierra, are you ready to move? Roger that. FGB tank and infantry, how it's going?
MI8's moving around, it's tracking that convoy. Flip for Flap's gotten out. Vehicles have stayed back. I only see one supply Vic over here. Where did they move the others? They keep them back there? They did. Okay. So I got some hard cover from that tank. We also see the second tank deployed over here. It's watching the right flank. Might have seen them up on that hill.
I can see sort of. I can see some of the...
OPFOR is charging. That means we're gonna see artillery shells rain. He's out of the Vic, so I think he already fired them. All right, let's see how effective that artillery is. I would laugh my ass off if air got smacked by an arty shell, but that's incredibly rare. I hope those shots were fired, otherwise this is gonna get very messy very quickly. I actually have no idea where... Okay, no, the MI8's above. It's tracking. You can hear those MTLBs coming in. I'm going to be really, really interested to see how well they time this artillery coming in. Or if it's even on target, but it looked like they knew it was on target in the beginning. Did the tank just get stuck? No? Okay. RPG's going in. MTLB's dismounting, taking fire. Timek blindly driving around, I guess baiting the tanks. We got another vehicle that snuck in. Tanks are being completely ineffective. So no artillery landed, but Blue 4 didn't really lock this down properly. What on earth? Now you see everyone firing at Timek. There it goes. Other group has driven right next to the HQ and is starting to push in. And the tanks have been completely bypassed, but I guess now they're trying to run around to figure out what's going on. Where's the rest of the... Is this all for OPFOR? Yeah, because they got a squad on Overwatch with the tank all the way back there. We just saw Bad Cap here get AT'd. Oh, God. This round's going to be over quick. So either one of two scenarios is going to happen. This group is either going to somehow bully the entirety of the Blue 4 player base, which is unlikely, or Blue 4 is going to sweep the hell out of these guys, and then the OPFOR QRF is going to trickle in and get annihilated in the same fashion. I'm hearing rounds land. I think that's the tank on Overwatch firing at him. No, the Blue 4 tank is firing at PHK, and he's taking friendly fire. Look at this man dodge. Look at him dodge. He's still trying to friendly wiggle them.
To friendly.
Friendly, I think it...
And then he turns around and gets an OPFOR kill. What on earth was that? So you're still hearing AT going back and forth right here. OPFOR have pushed up, taking a few casualties. Some have pulled back. You've got a supply vehicle that's come up now. This wasn't supposed to be brought in that early, so that's going to potentially give Blue 4 a point. Vehicle goes tits up. That building's now destroyed. We might see a tank snipe that vehicle. Mi-8 flying overhead. Now we're seeing smoke round artillery coming in, but it's a little too late. That should have gone in on the initial barrage. With the forces coming in, not now when they've already taken some pretty hefty casualties. Oh God, and now the PKT on that tank's gonna start shooting people. Just got a kill. Round just went through the house.
We destroyed one PTR-60. I can confirm that.
They're just spraying down that house, and that infantry group is pinned. Meanwhile, you got these three guys trying to run away. OPFOR still have a big chunk of forces on Overwatch. Artillery battery being crewed. Mi-8 is a fairly good chunk. It was mainly being used to track where OPFOR was coming in from. And OPFOR have pretty much just been bitch slapped back. They got another squad coming up with a BTR. At this point, this infantry squad needs to come in.
Yeah, I'm not sure if everything.
Callie's gotten a vehicle kill with that T-55, so we hit something in here. Now you got the MTLB coming in. Now OPFOR is pretty much going all in on this position. Nothing shooting at the Mi-8. Everyone's focusing on the ground here. I believe that tank has sniped this transport truck right here. That's where they would have had eyes on, and that would explain why it's smoking. That 762 is still pinning this position down. These guys are just kind of staying back. Not really able to do anything. Now we could see AT flank and hit this tank. Unfortunately, the gunner sees him. I think the gun got disabled, but they still blew him away with overpressure. Oh my God. We have another vehicle. How did you do that? How is this tank? What happened to this tank? Why is the other Blue 4 tank What? How did you... Whatever. Okay. So Blue 4 tanks are now disabled or destroyed. in... I don't even know how to explain it. But they are. Yeah, I assume they tried to do something and they made a trench for it and somehow flipped it and killed everyone. So another Blue 4 squad's moved up to that hill. They're not really going to be able to do much. Other squads still trying to trickle in, leaving the 2 squads that originally came in this AO to try their best to fight for it. But Blue 4 have also been taking a decent chunk of casualties. Their main crutch, though, with their tanks is now non-existent unless they can get this tank's gun repaired, which it looks like they might have. So now they're being more cautious with it, but this is going to leave room for this squad to potentially come up and AT it. Though he has an OG round loader, which is going to do jack shit to that tank. That's a fragmentation round, not an AT round. It's meant to fight against infantry. Tanks come up, they just snipe that supply vehicle, so that's 1 point on the board for Blue 4. And if this tank looks forward, it's going to spot these dudes in here. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, that happened. Anyway. BTR coming up. That's a team wipe there. Depso and HTM pushing up to run a 2-man war on Blue 4 with heavily fortified positions and Overwatch capability. I'm really surprised they don't see this man coming up, though. Oh. I just caster cursed at him. Well. That happened. I just heard AT get launched. That was on OFCRA. And I just saw this guy get blown away by AT. I actually have no idea who got that kill. Maybe Vexon? Because he has a kill credited and he's running away. That was AT that hit up here. Unless you had a launcher and somehow killed yourself, but I don't see that launcher, so... I don't know. PHK died. That was Ivno. No, Ivno's over there, so it'll be Swola. Actually, okay, I have no idea who did that. It might have been Zixme, actually, because he was part of NASA's team. And Zixme did have AT, so I'm wondering if Zixme just blew himself up with AT. And we're seeing more blue on blue. It's the same dudes that were shooting at other blue dudes, now they're shooting at these blue dudes. Tank has destroyed this BTR. It's now running down. Up for infantry. You don't have the right warhead loaded. And they just hit him with whatever caliber tank round that is. Oh, guys, come on. Oh, this is bad. Guys. Guys. I'm assuming the gun's fully disabled now. So they're just point blank shooting it. But they're out of AT. Oh, Emil's trying to get out to get another shot on it. Hits it. Is he gonna sprint to Rizbo's body? Oh, he gets nicked. Oh, and he's shot in the back. We need to see that squad going. More AT goes in and gets a kill. Schnubis. Really racking up these kills tonight. Now you got some long-range fire going on that hilltop by this BTR. I just heard a tank round fire. Don't know where it landed. But I heard the thunk. What are you shooting at? Once again, he's friendly wiggling. Ninja has -1 kills.
No, just asking where.
I know, here, down here. This is enemy, no?
This is friendly.
Ah, holy fuck. Okay. Vale, pues, amigos.
Oh my god. It's always the 7th guys that have been doing some funny stuff. Anyway, 45 minutes has been cashed in. OFCRA was unable to get any trucks in. Blue 4 is able to destroy 1 truck. So Blue 4 is up 1 point, which now just makes whoever controls this HQ by the next 45 minutes will win the match. And it's not really looking good for either side. That tank has driven all the way out here.
If you can use it.
I'd assume they're trying to field repair the tank. And these guys are desperately trying to heal their wounded man over here. So I guess they're testing where the tank's firing because the gun is misaligned because it's damaged. And OFCRA still have a bunch of forces trickled around the objective. Still could sneak a few guys in and take it, but it's going to be costly and it's going to be difficult. We really need to see this infantry squad push in, and we need to see OFCRA's T-55 come in because it's at full strength and it could definitely snipe a few guys in pretty nasty positions. I've just been caster cursing everyone, right? Vexen has stolen another Blue 4 piece of AT. Will he get a noob tube kill? But yes, the OPFOR tank's still alive with an overwatching squad. Vex comes in, fires it blindly, hits the building, but no one was in there, unfortunately. And now Adamek returns in kind with a noob tube of his own, landing near Varan. If Varan had a few more steps in, he would have died to it. It's just a noob tube fight. Shots coming up. Adamek was able to pull back. We see some blind fire over in this direction. I don't know what Calfee's doing. We got some other shots going up on Varan. You know, it's Shnubus. Varan's already crossed. Shnubus also crosses. He does have an OG round, though, so he can sire that in the building, get a nice multi-kill. And then we still have Depso up here running around as a one-man wonder with a Kar 98. The fact that he's gotten a kill with that Kar 98, though, is pretty interesting. AT going out as well. They're firing on this building. Mike is up here on his own, corner camping. I'm gonna hydrate. This round has thrown all conventional tactics out the window. It's literally just a bunch of people around desperately trying to survive. But now the tank's marauding in. And they got someone on the commander gun. Wiki's crawling around with that PKM. And we got these three pushing in. Again, that's going to be a really tough fight. Depso, I think... Oh, no, wait. He's trying to snipe at anyone over there. I thought I just saw a Blue 4 guy get killed, though. Rigel's running up to his position, though. I'm waiting to hear that tank start opening up on enemy positions. But this tank is now pulling around. BTR coming up as well. And it looks like everyone is now in the AO. Braun and Vexen still pushing through. Mr. Despacito gets assassinated. This is the pilot of the Mi-8. He's found a suppressed AK, and now he just killed Depso. I just realized that. I guess OPFOR's out of arty rounds, and we see another one being deployed right here. But he... Okay, no. Flip for Flap's still on it, and he's still providing Willie Pete rounds, but he's just not able to lock him in on target. Adamek runs up, throws some grenades. Trying to halt OPFOR's advance here, but otherwise, that's all it's going to do is halt. Got this BTR right here firing. I'm wondering if this T-55 is going to find a line on it. Instead, it fires at its own BTR? No, it fired over, right? You didn't actually do that on purpose. Right? So the tank from over there fire again. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. It's your same camo scheme. It's gray. You're gray. The enemy's in woodland. -1 vehicle kill there, Ghost Rider. Anyway. OFCRA is doing a great job of preventing any vehicle from getting into the AO. Unfortunately, the only vehicles trying to get into the AO are OFCRA's. Anyway, we got this Blue 4 tank all the way around here. I guess it's trying to line up its gun to potentially fire at enemy positions. They're scouting around that command seat, though.
Can I use the AT if I have a shot?
And they're trying to fire on the rear of this OFCRA formation. What's left of it, at least. Looks like Vexen was able to get the kill on that suppressed shooter. And Wujo has somehow run into this AO. You can't be serious! You can't be serious! Is the tank shooting at this vehicle too? Yep. Well, finally the tank hits the enemy VTR instead of the friendly one. Like I said, this is an absolute free-for-all right now, and I really don't know what's going on. Looks like Vexen got killed off by possibly NASA and Demovar here. Yep, as he came around right here, you see his body there on the left side and a Blue 4 body on the right. You got the coax of the tank coming through. This... Maybe the tank will be the linchpin here and be able to fight Blue 4 out of this position, escorted by uniform tank round coming in. It should be PvP, all players for themselves. Trouble in OFCRA town. Do I have a moderator on to change the title to that? I'd love that. I'd love that as a title. Oh, that's the best title I could possibly make with the amount of blue on red going on. All right, OFCRA still has 3 people pushing up here. Blue 4 have a big chunk of their player base back there, though. Tank got a line and blew up the Blue 4 BTR. This tank, though, again, not 100% sure. I think it's trying to set up a line. But if it misjudges, it might hit friendlies, which, I mean, who knows? It's okay, Speed. This round has been an interesting one, to say the least. Blue 4 armored one of their tanks, and the other one's trying to line itself up. Meanwhile, the enemy tank is blown up. 1 friendly and 1 enemy BTR. And now it's shelling these apartment buildings, which it should have been doing in the first place. Interesting how? Interesting to watch. Probably not to play, though. AT going on these infantry as Rigel is still continuing his one-man pilot war here. Oh no. Here comes Rigel. Here comes Baku. Wow! Rigel's not having any of that shit here. Pilot got bored of watching from the skies and has decided to come down to the ground level. He sees him. You know, I thought OFCRA had a chance, then Rigel proved me wrong. Damn. There's the double tap, and then a headshot for good measure. Oh, no. With every kill Rigel gets, it shreds OFCRA's chances of winning more and more. You still got these three over here. I'm going to tab out real quick. 1 second. Hold on. That title's too good not to put in. There we go. Let's tab in and see how many OFCRA magically died. None! We're good. Alright, right flank secure, northern flank secure. You just got a few guys on the south, and then one more infantry squad to push in, and I think Blue 4 has this. The one area of contention is the tank, but eventually that tank's going to blindly charge in and more than likely get AT to death. I'm surprised the tank hasn't shot this MI8 that's grounded yet, but we'll see. What are you friendly wiggling? Your tank? What?
No nie, ja bym tu kisił.
Close by. I just shot 160.
I just heard Shay say, "Oh, that's where I got shot from," and then Veron immediately starts shooting him, and you can see the blood where he got an impact. How's OFCRA's Artie? Still there. It's on its way. No, Rigel, please, they're only children. Rigel, please! Rigel! Rigel, no! Rigel! Rigel! There goes John Rigel. For 4 kills, though, for being the pilot, that's not bad at all. GG, well played.
Send in
2 OFCRA versus a good chunk of Blue 4.
That is going well.
Zevik, I think I've written down 9 timestamps so far, and I've passed up a few others, but this is certainly something. Nonetheless, thanks for the 27-month resub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Wombat tries to get Veron, but misses all shots. Hey, we're back to the noob tubes. Veron takes a tube. It doesn't get him. Another tube out by Shay. Doesn't get him. Hits the building, though, and makes it go into a dent. Did you actually finally line that tank's gun up and get a kill with it? All right. Epic just sniped Schnobus here. But they can't seem to line up the double tap. Thankfully, Charlotte gets it. And now we're down to 1 man. His name is Sai70. Maybe Sido. Maybe SI-70. Who knows? But gentlemen, this is his story. As we can see, he's going to the southern side of the airfield first. He's going to be possibly soft clearing these buildings. Nope, he doesn't even look. He knows that Blue 4 isn't around. And he's going to cautiously make his way to this HQ. Around him are at least 24 Blue 4 players. And in the distance is a tank providing limited overwatch and another squad of MTLB infantry going south away from the AO to reposition themselves somewhere else. And now we wait with bated breath as Mr. 7 here is going to show us how he can get 7 kills in a single OFCRA mission. Now he spots Charlie moving in the open. He decides not to engage. He's gathering vital reconnaissance data. Vital reconnaissance data. And that's not a BTR, that's an MTLB. The BTR that was over here got shot by its own tank, but that's a story for a different time. No, Mr. 7 here is a man of discipline. He has 0 friendly fire kills, otherwise this would be marked as -1, unless he got an enemy kill too, but, well, there's no way we'd know at this point. This man is a man of sheer focus and commitment. And look at how he cautiously goes through these areas with his gun up, knowing that danger could be around any corner. And Blue 4 have deployed an entire squad in his way. But you see Mr. 7 here, he's got an AK, chambered in 7.62 by 39. That's a very big round. He gets only 1 hit in the head, and his opponent is dead. He also has the RPG-75, which in my opinion is the worst grenade launcher in all of RHS. Notice how I called it a grenade launcher and not a piece of AT. Anyway. Mr. 7 is going to go for the high ground. Quickly sweeps the building, knowing that his corners are clear so he doesn't have to check them. He hears Blue 4 firing shots, but with no impacts or windows destroyed, he knows they're not against him. And now he's looking cautiously, knowing that his dark silhouette in this lightly lit room will totally hide him from any gunfire. And the MTLB has dismounted at Hill 102, hundreds of meters away from the objective, to gain more vital overwatch positions that will totally help Mr. 7 in the days to come. Mr. 7 looking out, he doesn't see anything. He looks south at the apartments, doesn't see anything else. He now comes down, knowing that if he stays too long, he will get shot. From the Blue 4, he simply doesn't see that he knows are out there because he can hear the gunshots like we do. And now he's going to look out and go through the open hit. I see. So he knows Blue 4 know that if he goes through the buildings, that's what Blue 4 expects him to do. But if he goes through the open airfield, no one's going to see it coming at all. And he's actually going to be able to make it right on top of the tarmac here. And again, you don't see any Blue 4 looking in this direction. It's so obvious that Blue 4 failed to plan for it. And Mr. 7 is going to get away with it. Completely outsmarting Blue 4 here. As he is now going to... He's getting shot. He goes prone to avoid gunfire. And he rolls behind the MI8. Now, what is Mr. 7 going to do here? He has an MI8. Well, first he's going to bandage because he did get shot. Now, is he going to steal the MI8? Now, the MI8's a bit risky because what if Blue 4 decides to AT their own helicopter and thus kill him? Well, Blue 4 aren't going to do that because it's their own helicopter asset. And they're not going to risk destroying something like that. As Mr. 7 knows this, he crawls closer to the helicopter and he checks its inventory. Is Mr. 7 going to steal the MI8? He has precious few seconds as I think I see Demovar pushing forward. Now, this is a 1v1 fight. I think Mr. 7 with his AK is in good hands here, but Demovar, he's got a Mark 14. Did you just... Okay, he smoke grenades it. I was about to say, because I thought I saw frags selected, but I guess that was a glitch. He's using this to make a smoke wall. And now he charges forward at... I see. He's going to steal the helicopter. Mr. Demovar, though. AT goes in. But Mr. 7, he knows Demovar's looking for him. And he's tactically rolling away. Oh! I think Wombat did with some form of AT or something. Oh! They just noob-tubed the shit out of him. Oh! Oh my god! Oh, okay. Well. Now we go to the OPFOR squad on Overwatch. Yes, this OPFOR squad has been doing a great job on Overwatch, helping all of their OPFOR get to the objective. I see. The plan was to use one guy to bait out most of Blue Force squads to come outside of the objective. And now the tank can shoot this MIA and get multiple kills. Right? Please, at least let's see the tank get a shot here. Come on, Mr. Tank. No, it's okay, all right? OPFOR's trying to lull Blue 4 into a false sense of security because the more people that start traveling through open fields, the more opportunities that tank is going to have to actually kill people from its Overwatch position, right? And don't worry, the Overwatch is waiting for the rest of the OPFOR players to come into the AO so they can continue to Overwatch, okay? They're around here. We just gotta find... There it is. All right. Here is OPFOR's main ground force. And you can tell it's the main ground force because they're not even fully dressed yet, okay? We can see on this roster the location of every OPFOR player, dead or alive, that's still on the server. And you can see this is the Overwatch team right here, supported by an Overwatch tank. And this is the main force. He's literally looking from binoculars. He's overwatching too, but don't worry, he's on his way. He'll get into the AO eventually. Eventually. He'll get in. We just gotta be patient. Anyway, does anyone have any good music to listen to while we watch paint dry? Maybe join the Blue 4 players here and looking at this modern piece of architecture, or art, or whatever you want to call it, and see how Blue 4 somehow used grad trenches to flip a tank like this. Truly, truly beautiful. Wait a second. Oh my gosh, guys. OPFOR is getting off of Overwatch. They're actually going into the AO. So I see, because this guy is farther outside of the AO and he was doing Overwatch, now he's the Overwatch, and now the Overwatch squad that was doing the Overwatch now has to charge into the AO with the tank becoming the Overwatch element. Ah, man. That's crazy. We got some heavy hitters here. We got Barros, we got Pogo underscore, we got Kermit. Hayes taking fire right here. Again, Blue 4 has been baited to go out in open areas to throw themselves off. As now OPFOR is gonna snipe them when they go into those open areas. I can't do this anymore. Newton already on the flank here as OPFOR's squad pushes in with a tank on Overwatch.
Whoa. None.
And like the archers in Skyrim when they get hit and then the Dragonborn crouches, it must have been OPFOR's imagination. Oh, look at that, see? Hayes in the open, gets killed. Newton in the open. He's getting shot at. Oh, but the tank in it's faded. Newton are going in open position, and he's killed. I told you it was an OPFOR deep fake here. They've baited all of Blue 4 to make them think that they're safe in the open when in reality they're not. Now OPFOR's gonna shoot them as Benares heroically takes a round to keep this narrative alive. 20 minutes remaining on this round. Mackenzie in a 50 cal car, not realizing that there's a tank on Overwatch. Will that tank fire at it? Oh, but it starts shooting. Mackenzie barely gets in the cover, not taking any damage. Now you got this marksman trying to hide in here, but there is a tank on Overwatch. All right, PHK, you need to come in, or flip for flap, sorry. Needs to come in at some point. Now, will Blue Force send any of their massive infantry reserve to come around and flank this tank? OFCRA already popping smoke grenades to advance. Will they coordinate and tell the tank they're taking fire from the leftmost tallest building's top story?
Yeah.
Instead, they start shooting at Toxic. Wrong building, Mr. Tank. Oh, now Blue 4's going in the open. Oh, another Blue 4 member gets killed up here. Flanking fire also going out on Shay as he tries to move through the open. It's all been a deep fake here. And OFCRA are now enjoying positions of cover as they engage Blue 4, who are in positions in the open here. The tank is assisting by barraging Mackenzie with PKT fire, but now the concealment is gonna stop them from seeing him. Tank firing up at that Overwatch again. They're put a freaking tank round in him. OFCRA tried to advance, but they now are pulling back to Overwatch. Unfortunately, it looks like they have taken a KIA. Kermit was killed and Barros was killed, so now there's only 5 OFCRA players. There's also one over. Oh no. Oh no. AT comes up again, it's just short. OFCRA tanks now coming down off the hill. Again, this tank's disabled. I want to see that thing drive up to the other tank and blow it away. I don't think we're going to see that. But anyway, OFCRA have heroically retreated, and the tank is repositioned, so I think this vehicle's going to follow the tank, and they're going to go around and try to go into the AO in a different angle. Oh, no. They're going to follow the tank. The guns are completely disabled, though.
Let's charge him. Let's charge him.
Just charge him. Oh no. We have a fully functioning T-55 versus a T-72 with all of its weaponry and armament disabled. The MTLB is heroically pulling away as the tank finds a new position to go on Overwatch. Hey Kix, thanks for the raid. What were you playing? Isn't ramming forbidden? Speed, don't be a Debbie Downer. Don't be a Debbie Downer. I mean, the Blue 4 might have actually completely lost positioning of the OFCRA tank, but the OFCRA tank finds Charlotte, and Charlotte is taken out by the tank. That tank is now on 4 kills, and Blue 4 can't seem to find where the OFCRA tank is gone. Now it's a game of cat and mouse. Except the mouse is being super loud and is more like a cat, and then you have another disabled cat over here that doesn't know where that tank went. And another kill, but I also saw some friendly fire going on him as well, as OFCRA have gone to the northern side, and they're going to keep going for the objective. That's going to be a 5v4. And they might actually be able to get kills here because it's the 7th players that have been doing nothing but friendly fire all game. No offense to them. I believe in them. Oh, tank is on the move.
I'm mounting back. I'm mounting back.
Blue Force mounting back up. As the OPFOR tank with now 5 kills pushes in. Olaf has AT. He's gonna charge the enemy tank. The OPFOR tank doesn't check its right. AT is fired. Hits the OPFOR tank in the rear, disabling it.
Ja, das ist schwer.
AT misses. Blue 4 tank coming in. They're gonna ring around the roseate.
Ja. Ich kann nicht so schnell drehen. Ja, ich kann nicht so schnell drehen.
The commander's tracking. Blue 4 tanks coming in. They've disabled it. Somehow a disabled T-72 has taken on a T-55 and won. And then you got these guys in this objective firing at these dudes. It's just, all right. You know, I'm pretty sure if they line up the gun, they could actually, like, hit it.
Ja, aber trotzdem. Wir waren wie wir waren.
Blue 4 calling that they have won and are now leaving. Gun depression's too high. I guess they are now negotiating the surrender of this tank. I can't hear them over the tank engine though.
Wir sind ausgestiegen.
Meanwhile, you have the crew just chilling.
We just got flipped by enemy tank by intention. I'm so fucked off. We are live here at pistols. No, come on, they drove into us. I heard them speaking how to flip us.
Now, I think that's against OFCRA rules to intentionally ram each other. But I'm just the commentator, I'm not an admin.
Der Turret war down. Es war defektes Turret gegen defekter Motor.
Hit him again! Oh no, Shay has AT. Alright, Roland gets out and is immediately taken out. Shay almost gets... Oh! Oh! Wait a minute! Oh! Look, I don't care. The fact he killed a guy that friendly fired another guy is brilliant. Anyway, let's look at OPFOR here. They're actually advancing to the final objective. It's going to be 4 versus 3, but then they have to hold it for the rest of the game, and that's something that I don't know is going to happen. We just heard AT fire on that T-55. I think that was Seismo there. Hold on. Now you got Gazag in the middle of OPFOR lines with a VSS. Nope, that's an AS Val. Oh no, but Mortal might have heard it. Is Gazog gonna cheeseburger? Wait a minute. I said these guys were friendly firing all day. Oh, god damn it. Oh, god. And now they're 18 this position too. Ah, yes. Trouble in OFCRA town, right? Gazog didn't get a kill. The three of them have regrouped. Oh! Shot in the face. Well, back of the head. But Gazog now knows what he has to do. Will he come in and stop this push? Or will he run right into Benares' line? It's a sprint to see who gets into each other's line of fire first. Benares, look right. Gazog, look left. Oh! Shoot him! Shoot him! What are you doing?
Well, yeah. No.
What? What is this? God, we have an invisible blue 4 guy. Epic blows him away. Oh, Epic gets shot in the back by Car 98. That's Mortal coming up. Doesn't get the second shot, though. More shots go in. They got one of them. No, wait, I think... Oh, whatever. I missed it. It's fine. Blue 4 desperately pushing. Settler gets the kill on, I think that was Cheeseburger. But we have a drum mag PPSH. Pogo, what are you doing? Pogo! All right. For realsies. Flipper Flap's finally gonna use the artillery. It's okay, guys. Mortal's got this. He's got a 7.62 by 54 rimless Mosin Nagant. Well, don't worry, he's gonna wake up any set. Well, considering OPFOR only has this artillery gun left, and I haven't seen any shots come in, I think we all know who's won this game. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. We'll be back in about 2 hours for POG. There you go. Wow. 11-0. See you in 2 hours for POG and then some game night shenanigans. Have a good one.